So, our report is all about the e-governments in developing countries. So, e-governments refers to the use of digital technologies, or particularly the internet or other electronic means, to enhance and streamline government processes, improve service delivery, and promote transparent and citizen engagement in governance. It encompasses a wide range of applications and tools aimed to transforming traditional government operation into more efficient, accessible, and citizen-centric systems. So, it means that e-governments is very usable nowadays because we are in the modern world. So where the technology exists, that then the kibalan technology makatabang yun siya na mag-provide kibalin ng fast service delivery o may mga improvements o may mga progress pagkibali na pwede kayo mahatag ng e-governance. So, e-governments different to e-government. So, e-governments is on the other hand is a broader concept that encompasses not only technological aspects but also the overall framework and processes of governance. It refers to use of technology, not is within the government agencies but across the entire government's ecosystem. So, an e-governance is kibali mo yung kibalian the way sila mo govern kibali by using technology. Amo da kibali yung sir ka mabuo ka kuang kibalian meaning ng e-governance. So, second, e-government, this term is primarily focuses on the technological aspect of environment's functions, involves the use of the information and communication technologies, the ICTs, by the government's agencies to deliver public services, engage with citizens, and manage internal operation. E-government emphasizes that the digitalization of the government process enabling online transaction, electronic communication, and digital delivery to citizens. Is more about the technological infrastructure and digital tools employed by government. So, an e-government kami yun ang kuanser yun. Kibali, the way sila magkuang kibali ng informations, the way sila mo mag-provide ng information sa tao is they utilize the technologies such as computers, cell phones, or non-internet technologies such as telephones, cell phones, na pwede kibali as long na dili manggali magamit ang internet, baka provide yapon sila ng mga information sa mga tao or sa mga citizens. So, e-governments, especially in developing countries, presents a transformative opportunity to enhance public service delivery, increase transparency, and promote citizen engagement. While there are challenges to unique to developing nations, that potential benefits are significant. So, an e-government skid, sir, is maka-improve gid siya sa mga countries. Like, for example, isa kay balik example is an accessibility and inclusivity. E-governments can bridge geographical gaps by providing services accessible to remote areas. Digital platforms enable citizens in even rural or marginalized communities to access government services, information, and participate in governance process. So, kuang balinan yon kuan na an e-governments kabali dapat accessible sila sa tanan o may inclusivity kibali na when it comes sa pag-provide ng service o information, easy to access o diway kibali pili kibali na anay kung uno pa imo race or uno pa imo ethnicity or uno bakaw, as long na ganito ng information dapat i-include ko gyapon nila, like dili kibali na wala nila gi-promote ang exclusivity kibali mo kuan na nila ng tanan maka-access kay na information. Amin na nan isa kibali ka benefits sa e-governance. So and second is transparency and accountability. So when it comes sa transparency, so because amayon na ang technology or ang e-governance is mas gipadali kibali ang paghatag kibali nan mga services, nan mga information na dili like kibali lisod pa hanapon ng mga tao na ura mismo kibali makita din nila sila mga digital sa transparency and accountability. Digital systems reduce bureaucratic hurdles, minimize corruption through transparent transactions, and create audit trails and that enhance accountability. Transparent process build trust and between citizens and the government. Vital sustainable development. Amo kibali yun sir na when it comes sa transparency o accountability, ang e-government kibali mas makaya nila mag-provide ng services o ng mga information through technologies kibali by the use of technologies. So nga doon kibali makonsider sila na transparent sila, accountable sila, and also sa tungod sa ka-transparent nila, ma-minimize nila ang corruption. Mga transactions, mga audio, mga transactions, mas dalid ang process, create audit trails, enhance accountability, bureaucratic hurdles, minimize corruption. Namin kibali, ang benefits of kibali yun ng e-governments in developing countries. Transparency and accountability. So, third is the efficiency and cost effectiveness. Automated processes streamline bureaucratic procedures, reducing red tapes and delays. This efficiency minimizes resource wastage, saving time and money for both the government and citizens. So, ang kuang kibali sa bisonan cost and effectiveness o efficiency mas ma-allocate kibali na ang resources o mas ma-utilize kibali niya resources sa sakto kibali na panginanglanon or through ng e-governments kaya nila mas easy na kibali mahatag kibali o makitaan nila matrack kibali nila kung uni mga kinanglanon like kibali dili kibali siya time consuming, dili sab siya kung grabe ka money consuming kay tungod mas gipadali da kibali ang process to technology kibali like dili na ko for example mag-provide kita ng service sa ila dili na ko mano-mano sir because the applicants or the citizen they can kuang kibali na makita nila sa website by using technologies na makuha nila ni mga information na ma-access kibali nila and also sa government sab kibali kaya nila mag-provide ng services through technologies or mga digital.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. For the continuation of the report of Mr. Oranza, now improve service delivery. E-governance facilitates better delivery of public service such as healthcare, education, and utilities. Online platforms can improve healthcare accessibility, support remote learning, and ensure more efficient distribution of resources. So, improve service delivery, which means the e-governance can must a big help with this regarding and service delivery na mas mapadali da niya ang pag-access ng mga sa government ma-access din yan mga information to improve to make it efficient and effective through services ma-intercept niya ang pag-distribution ng resources. So next is citizen engagement. So digital platform enable citizen to participate actively in decision making, voice concern, and provide feedback through online forums, social media, and interactive website. Government can engage citizen in policy making, governance more participatory. So, and citizen engagement, so one of the example of this, yaton mga like si mayor magpost ng mga pahibaw sa Tandaganon, di ba? Iton taglaw ni na if nakakuang ka mo na niton kuan ni George Careyford na si mayor ko na mag-post siya ng mga uni gusto sa mga Tandaganon ng mga artista, and then which is ang mga citizen no in live in kuan Tandag, so naga-suggest sila na uni mas dayaw. So in that term nagkakuan sila no, which is citizen participatory. So unta na gets niyo, and then next is ato na isunod ang the challenges of e-governance. So first challenges of e-governance: digital divide. So access to technology and digital literacy are more major hurdles in developing countries. The digital divide between urban and rural areas, along with socioeconomic disparities, limits equitable access to e-governance services. So, hibaw sa kita na dili gayud tanan citizen maka-access ng e-governance or the technology itself, no? It because dili tanan kita kusog ang signal sa ato lugar. Od sa ilaya maglisod sila mag-access ng mga information which is gipost ni mayor. So maglisod siya ma-access ng information gipost ni mayor through social media. So maglisod gid sila mag-access ng information na gipost ni mayor, it because why signal sa ila, so lisod sa ila ma-access. So amin taglaong na digital divided. And then next is infrastructure and connectivity. So inadequate infrastructure and unreliable internet connectivity hinder the seamless implementation of e-governance initiative, particular in remote area, security and privacy. Sa connectivity and infrastructure and connectivity, so it implement no the implementation of e-governance initiative. So may mga initiative sa kuan particularly in remote areas, iton mga simlang gimbuan siya sa kuan na mga kuang gyapon sa mga way kadayo signal bito na mga area. So ginakuha niya na maprotektahan ang mga privacy na mga citizen. So next is security and privacy concern. So ensuring the data security and protecting citizen privacy are critical. Weekly cyber security measure may expose sensitivity citizen information to breaches and misuse. Capacity build misuse, wala na ba yung capacity building is another challenges. So sa sa security and privacy concern of ensuring data, so it is kumbaga dili gid nato makuan yon sa kumbaga at sa mga internet yaoy gid kumbaga yung mga hacker. So dili gid mo lang kita na totally ma-safe gid siya sa e-governance which siya ato mga privacy yung nga kay yay bayagid mga bagtiki sa mo mga mo hack sa nato mga accounting ana. So that is one of the challenges sa e-governance. So nga din sab kita sa capacity building. So that is the last challenges of e-governance. So effective e-governance requires skilled human resource to develop and implement and maintain digital system. Developing this expertise is a challenge in many developing nations. To foster successful e-governance in developing countries, it's crucial to address this challenge. This include investing in infrastructure, promoting literacy, ensuring data security, engaging citizens in the design of system capacity, building within government institution with executed thoughtfully and inclusively. E-governance has the potential to transform governance, fostering more efficient and transparent and citizen-centric administration.